I want to dive into the specific strategies that we'll use and listen and learn. As we move into that, I just want to remind ourselves that often what looks to us like defiance, disobedience, rebellion, just plain annoying behavior can actually be distress or stress, overwhelm, anxiety, disconnection, or just dysregulation. And dysregulation just means that they feel off, like their nervous system is not calm. It's like they're in fight or flight mode, or they're tense or upset or worried about something. Just that feeling of dysregulation can lead to what we call misbehavior simply because they don't know what to do about it, right? They don't know how to calm themselves down and make themselves feel better.
Or even more, they don't know that what they're feeling
Yeah, they
is a
don't know.
dysregulated nervous system.
Exactly.
They're not aware enough to go, "Oh, I think I'm feeling a little tense. And that's why I'm behaving out of the norm." They're just like,
Right.
so super critical here. And I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. Behavior is communication. Like, let that sink in. Behavior is communication. In other words, they're, quote, talking to you.
Hmm.
They're telling you something with your behavior,
With their behavior.
and we as parents have to listen.
But we have to be like detectives because again, they're not speaking their words. They're not saying, "Mom, I feel worried and stressed right now, so I need you to cuddle with me." They're not. So instead what they're doing is they're like, "Mom, mom, 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 mom," like that behavior is communication. It's a clue that they need and want something from you, but that they don't know how to tell you. They don't know how to put it into words. They don't know how to explain it to you. So instead, they embody it by acting it out. Our job is to be the detective that looks at those clues and says, oh, hmm, they're dysregulated here. I need to help regulate them because children do not know how to self regulate. They have to have co regulation until they're 25, practically. I'm kidding, but
Okay, but
that's when the prefrontal cortex is fully developed.
but how long does co-regulating work? How old are you?
Co-regulating continues to work.
It's
Co-regulating works
just
in marriage. I'm telling you.
amazing. We
Yes.
all can use it. So, I learned something today. I had a private coaching session with a mom, and I learned something today that, well, relearned, and we talked about this today, is that your kids, they don't necessarily want to be told what's happening or told what they need to do. Because you might now look at this and be like, oh, yeah, okay. So, tomorrow your kid's misbehaving. You're like, oh, I'm reading the communication. And then you're like, aha, child, you are dysregulated. You need to go sit over there and sit still and do breath work, right? They are not going to receive that. They're not going to like what you're saying. They're not going to like you telling them what to do. So, the, well, let me ask you, what do you do instead? Instead of telling them what they need to do and telling them that something's wrong with them or trying to, quote, fix them, what can we do instead? Let's say that happens later today or tomorrow. What do we do instead?
Hug and
Hug
listen.
and listen.
Mhm.
What else? What would you do? Just think about it right now. What would you do with your child later today or tomorrow?
You do the thing you
Yes.
want them to do.
Yeah. You're like, you know what? A little bit of breathing and just some.
I literally just say, okay, let's take a deep breath. And then I take a deep breath. I'm like, and then it's amazing that they do it. They're just like, and already we all start to calm down because breathing helps to calm your nervous system. So, yeah, do the thing you want them to do rather than telling them, take a deep breath. I'll say, let's take a deep breath and we do it together and we breathe.
I'll,
Let's sit down.
yeah, I'll do
Let's
that.
cuddle. Let's
Like, in the moment, I'm like, "Okay, there's intense things," and I'll look out and be like, "Oh, man, it is so beautiful outside. Hey, come sit with me on the couch outside on the patio real quick." And they're like, and they come out there, and then we cuddle up, we sit down, I'm like, "Look, can you hear the birds? Look at that. Wow. And so what happens, I'm literally using techniques. We're outside. You start a really dysregulated body and mind is so fight or flight, and you're like, "Oh, look at that bird. Wow, I didn't notice how many blossoms are on that tree over there. Look at the colors. How many colors are in the sky there?" This is with the little ones, but you adjust to the older ones. And all of a sudden everything's coming way down. We take some breaths and we're sitting there like, "Hey, what's going on?" Right? You guys see that? That's literally what we do. And so it takes this escalated situation and an escalated child, brings it right back down. And we talk a little bit about it. And they're like, "Yeah, I should go in and apologize." Boom.
Yeah.
There it is. It gets so much easier.
But I
Sneak
just want to
preview.
yeah, sneak peek. I want to emphasize a couple more things though. We have to remember that each of our, because you kind of touched on it there, each of our children are their own little person and they do live in their own little world. And that's actually a good thing. That's really good for brain development. But we have to remember that they are living in their own little world and they have their own little worldview and they have their own little emotions and they have their own little problems,
Even when they're 15, guys.
even when they're 3,
Well, no.
even when they're 15.
Well, yeah, because no, you think the little ones, you're like, "Oh, they're 5, 6, 7, they're in this imaginary world." But then you're like,
Oh,
"Wait,
okay.
now my
Living in their own
17-year-old
little.
is totally in his own little
Okay,
world
okay.
still."
I get it.
Like, so it happens.
Yeah,
Even your husband.
that's true. He really is. But okay, so and then yes, even with your 15-year-old or your 3-year-old or your husband, maybe what can feel small to us might feel massive to them. And so sometimes I think, I know I would do this. I would discount their problems and be like, it's not a problem. It's not a big deal. But all I'm doing is diminishing their existence in a way because I'm telling them, oh, what you feel shouldn't be valid because your problems aren't really problems, right? So you're not validating their experience, you're dismissing it, and that makes them feel unsupported and unsafe. Um, but when we see them as separate little individuals with their separate little lives and their separate little problems, instead of, I know for me, I used to see them as an extension of myself. Well, like I'm the mother and I gave birth. They're just like an extension of me. I'm in charge. I decide what happens. I decide if it matters or not, or if it's important, or if they should feel that or not feel that, right?
The
That
queen mother
I
and her
know, right?
minions.
My little minions. But when I started to realize, oh, wait, no, that's not true. Yes, I birthed them and they came from me, but they are individual little people with their own individual little feelings. And I have to respect that, especially if I want to have a close, lifelong relationship with them. So as we practice these tools, like the one Greg was just talking about, we're helping to communicate to them that you matter as a little individual. I'm here to listen and to support you. Your feelings are valid. They're part of the human experience. You're not some alien. You're actually just a normal human, right? There's nothing wrong with you for feeling that way. And when they feel that support and the fact that and feel like we actually want to understand their inner world, that's where trust is built. And trust is like the foundation of everything we want in our relationship with our child. It's built on that foundation of trust where they feel like they can trust us because we support and validate them.